Alhamdulillah. We are gathered here today for the talk organized by RMC titled MOSTI R&D Grants that will be presented by Madam Narasha Khairuddin, the Principal Assistant Secretary of Fund Division, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Let's start off the program by inviting the Deputy Director of Grant Initiative Unit, Professor T.S. Dr. Hazlin Anwar, to give her welcoming remarks. Please welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. Here on behalf of the Research Management Center, I would like to thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. Okay, this talk will be the first that is organized by the Grant Initiative Unit in this year, 2023. So I'm sure everyone here is very familiar with the Ministry of Higher Education or MOHE. But bear in your mind that Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, or also known as MOSTI, is also offered various kind of funds to be grabbed. Well, I do not want to take too much of your time. We are here to listen to Madam Narasha Khairuddin. She is a Ketua Penolong Setiausaha from Bahagian Dana, MOSTI. So thank you very much for attending this event, and I pass back to our MC today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Prof. Hazlin. Before I invited our speaker to give a talk, allow me to give a brief introduction on her background. Okay, Madam Narasha joined the public service as an administrative and diplomatic officer in March 2008. She served at the Implementation Coordination Unit, Prime Minister's Department from March 2008 until May 2017. Then she moved to the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, where she is placed in the Fund Division until now. She is responsible in managing and administrating the public fund. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite Madam Narasha to give a talk on MOSTI R&D Grants. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nur Azlin. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. First thing first, on behalf of Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation or MOSTI, we would like to convey our appreciation to RMC IIUM for inviting us to give this briefing and sharing. So basically, this is also continuity from the invitation to Prof. Hazlin on our last course at Swiss Garden Kuantan. Okay, so during that session, we offered also to Prof. Hazlin if RMC IIUM interested to invite us for the briefing, so you just can contact us and we will facilitate on this. So after a few discussion, like finally we made it today. It's supposed to be last year, but couldn't find the right time. So today is the day. So as Prof. Hazlin had mentioned just now, MOSTI also provide various, R&D grant, and also we also have a funding agency under MOSTI. I'll share later, but first thing first, I'll share the slide on me. Okay. Dr. Hazlin, can you see the slide and other participant?
Yes.
Okay. I'll share this slide later with the RMC. Okay. So basically, this is a briefing on MOSTI R&D fund. So for the MOSTI, we only have this R&D fund. Okay. So as mentioned before, I'm Aisha from Fund Division. So in MOSTI, we also have another financial assistant, but specific under Fund Division, we have this R&D funding. Okay. So this is the briefing and the introduction of Fund Division. Okay. We manage the funding for R&D and C and also I for innovation. Okay. So basically, we have this MGC, Malaysia Grand Challenge. This Malaysia Grand Challenge or MGC launched by our ex-minister, of MOSTI, YB Khairi Jamaluddin, on 8 January 2021. So basically this MGC, now we are in the 3rd year of the MGC. We are receiving quite overwhelmed of the application. We already approve lots of application, especially from the university, IPTA, it could be IPTA or IPTS, and also from the companies. Okay. So basically this MGC is supported by the MOSTI funding fund into elevating this. We have this National Science, Technology and Innovations policy. In Malay, we call it DISTIN, Dasar Sains Teknologi Inovasi Negara. This one is for 2021 until 2030. So basically, MGC is also meant to support this DISTIN. Okay. Okay, this is our fund scheme in MOSTI. Since the launch on 2021, we have this 5 scheme, namely as we have this AIF, okay, Applied Innovation Fund. We also have Technology Development Fund 1, we call it TED 1. We also have this TED 2, Technology Development Fund 2. We also have this Bridging Fund, and we also have Strategic Research Fund. Okay, this MOSTI R&D funding is mainly to overcome challenges identified under the 10-10 My STI framework. Later, I'll share what is the 10-10 My STI framework. Okay. Okay, this is our challenges on MGC. So basically we have these 10 challenges, starting from culture, art and tourism until the water and food. Okay, you can get it from our guideline also, these 10 challenges. Okay, this is, I'll share a little bit about the change of focus from the Malaysian, the 11 Malaysian plan and also the MP12, okay? So basically before this, mostly focus on the innovation, but in the Malaysian plans, 12 Malaysian plan, we focus more on experimental development, okay? So therefore we have this AIF, TED 1, TED 2, we also have this strategic fund, and also we have a bridging fund, okay? And we will be using this My STIE 10-10 framework, okay? My STIE means Malaysia Science, Technology, Innovation and Economic 10-10 framework, okay? So this is the framework of 10-10 My STIE, okay? This is the challenges, the 10 challenges that I mentioned just now is taking from this Malaysia socio-economic drivers, from this energy until this environment and biodiversity. Okay, so basically it's derived from this 10-10. Okay, basically, okay, this framework was launched together with our DISTIN and incorporated with the 12 Nation Plan, whereby this is our 3rd year of the 12 Nation Plan. So we're still using this framework. So this framework consists of 10 socio-economic sectors, okay, from this energy, and also we also have these 10 science and technology drivers, okay? So you have to tap your project, the proposed project, under these 100 dots, okay? For instance, if your project is under environment and biodiversity, you can tap any of one of these SNT drivers, science and technology drivers, okay? Do you have any question for this one? No. Okay. So basically, this is our R&D funding scheme, the 12 Malaysian Plan funding scheme. Okay, we call it PERMACU. Okay, for the 12 Malaysian Plan, we call it as a PERMACU. We have these 5. I start with this Strategic Research Fund, SRF. This is our what we call top-down funding. This is a grant, okay? All these 5 are grants. So under Strategic Research Fund, previously we have this pitching committee. Then we move also toward our APP, what we call it as Agency Pelaksana and Pemantau. We have 9 Agency Pelaksana and Pemantau, namely is MIMOS Malaysia Berhad. We also have a Nano Malaysia Berhad. We have the Agency Nuclear Malaysia. So any respective sectors of industry, can apply their funding under this APP, because this funding, the quantum for the funding is up to 15 million. Okay, if compared to the other bottom up. So for this other bottom up, for instance, applied innovation funds, the quantum is only 500K, while for the TED 1 is 1 million, for TED 2 is 3 million. Previously, we have this bridging fund, replace temporary with the commercialization funding, but we will call it as a dana perkomersialan managed by Meranti. Okay, all this funding, okay, from the SRF, AIF, TED 1, TED 2, and also BGF or DP, dana perkomersialan. So basically, all these scheme have a different technology readiness level. So your entitlement or okay, the requirement for each funding is based on the TRL of each project. Okay. So basically, this is the details, the informations about the scheme. Okay, we focus more on TED 1 first, okay? The AIF until TED 2. Okay, for the AIF is entitled for the individual, for the startup, for SME, registered association, cooperative, or NGOs. But if the researchers from IIUM wants to apply for AIF, you have to apply it as an individual. Okay, otherwise you are most recommended to apply as a TED 1 or TED 2. Okay, you also entitled to apply for SRF and also for the DP, dana perkomersialan. So basically, this is the financing ecosystem R&D and CNI MOSTI. So basically, each project will be assessed and evaluated based on your technology readiness level, based on your TRL of the project. So Prof. Hazin have mentioned, she mentioned just now that previously most of the IPT researchers applied under MOHE, grant under MOHE. For instance, FRGS, PRGS, TRGS. But in MOSTI, we offered the grant starting from TRL2 onwards. Okay, applied research up to experimental development. So if you can see this from the mustard colors, this is the grant offered, managed by fund division, mostly in our division. Okay, starting from TED 1, TED 2, AIF, and also for the SRF. You can see this one is a commercialization DP. We take out bridging fund from this ecosystem because bridging fund and commercialization funding is a mirror to one and another. Okay, so most of the researchers from the university will apply for the TED 1. They might be using the project from their previous research from MOHE. Usually FRGS, from FRGS. They will apply and continue the project and apply from MOSTI. Okay, so you are also welcome to apply it from us. Other than funding from fund division, we also have this financial assistance from our funding agencies, such as we have a Cradle Fund Sdn Bhd, we have a MAVCAP, we also have MDV, Malaysia Debt Ventures, we also have MTDC, and all these 5 funding agency offered various, what we call it, various financial assistance. So if you have for IIUM, your spin of company also entitled to apply for this one. Okay, for IIUM. For the university, it's applicable only for the researchers. But for those international researchers, can apply for this grant and can be a project leader as long as your employment contract still within the periods of the project. Okay. Okay, this is the scope of funding for the project. So basically, for MOSTI, This item under AIF, Tab 1, Tab 2, and SRF, APP, these are the item that we fund. Okay, other than this item, we are not funding, we don't have any allocation, but if the university or the company have their own allocation and contribution, shouldn't be any problem. Okay, then this one is the scope of funding for dana perkomersialan. So basically dana perkomersialan and bridging fund have this same scope of funding. A little bit different because they have a different TRL. So DP and bridging fund is more on the toward the commercialization, whereby the AIF, Tab 1, Tab 2, and the SRF is more on the applied research onwards. Okay. So basically, this is the application and evaluation process. This is our governance. All the application must be submitted online through our system Dana Bersepadu. Previously, we call it as eDana. Still the same system, but now we merge all these funding system under MOSTI under one system, what we call it system Dana Bersepadu. There's a sub-module for eDana. If the researchers already have the account, you just can log in and fill in the a simple assessment. This simple assessment will facilitate the we call it potential applicant, which grant is more suitable for your project. Okay, if you are registered, you are as a researcher from university, and you put the TRL of your project, so the system will assist you which fund is more suitable for you. If you registered yourself as individual, there will be a case registered themselves as individual from the university. The system will facilitate you and channel you to AIF. So if you want to change from AIF to Tab 1, you just call the technical desk. We will facilitate you in changing your ID for your account. Okay, it happened a few times from among the researchers. Okay, so all the application must be submitted online through SDB. The Secretariat will do the administrative review to ensure that all the supporting document must be submitted and furnished. And after that, we will be calling, arrange the, what we call it, Jawatan Kuasa Penilaian Dana Fund Evaluation Committee with the expert panel. Usually we have 3 to 5 panel from the technical panel, financial panel, and also the technical, commercial, and financial. Okay, usually. And after that, during this JPD, okay, during this evaluation, applicant will present your project within 30 to 60 minutes to the panel, and also in the attendance of the Secretariat. And during this session, either the project is recommended for the rejection or recommended for approval, or need to undergo for a due diligence. Okay, only then you will be notified about your application. Okay, from the complete document until notifications of result, it will take up within 45 days. Okay, if your project is approved, you will be receiving the offer letter and also the acceptance letter. Acceptance letter is what we call it surat setuju terima, that must be submitted to us within 7 days from the date of the offer letter. Okay, after that we will arrange the meeting to conclude all the document for the agreement, and then the first payment will be disbursed for the university and also the company. The first payment will be disbursed after upon stamping of the agreement. Okay, so all this governance must be followed by all, especially for the grant for the bottom up. Okay. So this is basically this is for the top down. For top down, we have a different, little bit different governance where all the application must be done through the APP, okay, monitoring and implementing agency. So APP will conduct the early evaluation and then present the project to our committee. Okay. After that, we will be doing this meeting to finalize all the document for the agreement, and then we bring it to the fund approval committee and notify the result. Okay, but for the contract and advance is still the same, like bottom up. Okay. Okay, I just mentioned before, we also have this funding agency. We call it for the short term is FA for funding agency. We have Credit, MEFCAP, MDV, Kumpulan Modal Perdana, and also MTDC. So basically, these 5 funding agencies have a different roles and also different financial assistance. Should you interest to apply or know more about this funding agency, you just can drop to their portal and website. Or contact their person in charge. There will be a person in charge, they will facilitate you on this one. So usually they also have grant, they also have this what we call soft loan, and also have equity. It differ based on your project. Okay, so basically this is sum up of our application guide. You can browse to our SDB system, log in, there will be a guideline. What I've shared today is only simple and for the presentation purpose only, but the details are from the guideline. You can get it from SDB, just log in. You are most, we most welcome each applicant to go through all the guideline first before you can choose which fund or grant scheme most suitable for your project. If you don't have an account yet, you can register. If you already have an account, then you just log in as usual. During the fulfilling of the application, should you have any questions, you can contact the secretariat. For instance, if you are applying for a Tab 1, you just call secretary of the Tab 1, respective secretariat. Okay, the result progress notifications of your application only will be notified through the system. We will be not calling you personally to update about your application. RMC also will be notified on this one, and RMC most welcome to have this briefing also to the researchers on how to do this, because all application must go through RMC first. RMC approve, only then the process for the secretariat will take part. Okay. Okay, this is the help desk IDANA, the email for the help desk IDANA. Should you have any technical problem, please drop an email to this help desk IDANA, and also this is the numbers. Okay, this is only pertaining to the system. If you have any problem, query or questions about the grant, you can contact the secretary, the respective secretariat. Okay. Okay, this is application guide for SRF APP. Okay, besides that, we also have this fund consultation. We open to everyone interested to apply for MOSTI R&D funding every Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It either physical or online. First thing first, that you have to just scan this QR code to register, and then the PIC, the person in charge, will contact you to arrange for the session. Okay, usually the session will take up 30 to 45 minutes per session. Okay, should you interested to have another session, okay, you just can register, and then the process like usual. Okay, thank you for listening. It's almost 10:30. I open to the floor for any Q&A. Should you have anything? Okay, back to you, Dr. Azlin. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Narisha, for the valuable information shared with us regarding the grants provided by MOSTI. Okay, as Madam Narisha said, we are now going to open the session for Q&A. If anybody has any question, you can unmute your microphone and proceed with the question, or you can post a question in the chat box.
Okay. Do you have any question from the chat box?
There's only like one request so far, like request for a soft copy of the slides.
Yes, as I promised before, I'll share this soft copy with RMC after this.
Assalamualaikum, Madam.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name Adiba from College of Engineering.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing the presentation.
Okay.
I'm sorry I could not turn on my video.
Okay.
My question is, I'm sorry if this question is premature because I haven't browsed the website yet. So apology.
It's okay, madam. You can jump any kind of question. I'll try to entertain as much as I can.
Thank you very much, madam. I actually have applied for patent for product from my research.
Okay.
And so my question start from there. If I already have the prototype and already applying IP from RMC and have been granted certain stage of the IP. Which there are so many criteria and category that you described just now, which I believe my TRL is ready for commercialization. I already have an industry collaborator, but I need fund to enhance to what do I say? Because this is lab scale, my prototype. Where do I go from here? That's actually what in my mind.
Okay, thank you, madam, for the question. I try to recap it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You already patent your output, is it?
Correct, madam.
Okay, but which grant is more suitable for you? Okay, if you already have this, if you can see from my slide, this TRL. Okay, did you pass your lab validation?
Can you explain what lab validation means?
We have this, you know what we call it, definitions of the TRL. Okay, definition of the TRL. We use it from NASA. Okay, let me go through this. Okay, so lab validation. We have this also in our guideline, the definition of the TRL itself. Okay, if you already passed the lab validation, it means that you already passed the TRL 4, you are entitled to apply for the TEC 2. Usually, if you have a prototype, you apply for TEC 2.
Okay, madam.
Okay?
Okay, TEC 2. Okay.
Right. The quantum for the TEC 2 is 3 million. You can apply up to 3 million. But the scope of funding is still remain the same as a TEC 1, as a AIF, and also SRF APP. It's just a matter that the quantum is different, higher.
Thank you very much. Very clear. Thank you, madam. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Is there any other questions?
There's one question in the chat box from Prof. Hazlin. Is it required to have industry partner for TEC 1 and TEC 2?
Is it required to have a partners? You mean the
industry partner? Yeah.
Industry partner for the collaboration. Okay. For the TEC 1, it is recommended. It's highly recommended to have industrial partners. But for the TEC 2, it's required to have it. Okay, especially from researchers from the university.
Okay, that's the answer question.
Again?
Sorry, Madam Chair. What about for AIF? Do we need industrial partner for AIF as well?
No, but
Okay.
if I would like to have a question, who's interested to apply for AIF? Is it you are asking on your behalf or on behalf of the others?
I'm asking on myself. For
Okay.
myself.
Dr. Can you
Intan.
introduce yourself, Doctor?
Intan, sorry, Intan
Okay.
from Kuliah
Is it
Applied Health Sciences.
Dr. Intan ke, Prof. Intan ke? I'm so sorry if I...
Doctor.
Dr. Intan. Okay, Dr. Intan, if you are interested to apply for AIF, AIF is open for the individual, okay, for the individual, not for the university. But you have to get approval from the university that you will be applying for AIF and doing it individually. Okay, not as researchers from the university. So the agreement letter, if your project approved, the agreement letter is between you and MOSTI, not on behalf of IIUM. Okay.
I see. Okay, so we don't need industrial partner for that one.
For all this funding, you are highly recommended to have an industrial partner.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Is there any other questions?
Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
So thank you, Madam, for the presentation. My name is Dr. Saeed from Fiqh and Usul Fiqh Department.
Okay.
I want to ask for somebody looking into fundamental research, especially in social sciences. So where do we fall in this whole scenario?
Dr. Saeed, you are did you pass your fundamental phase of your project before?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Okay. Okay. Let me go through with this. Okay, this TRL. Okay. We have this funding. Okay. For instance, any project we're still in the basic principle or fundamental. You are not entitled to apply for R&D fund and MOSTI. You have to apply and go through MOHE grant first. After you finish that, only then you can apply for the R&D fund in MOSTI.
Oh.
That's why I'm asking you, if you already passed your project before this. Let's say you have a project, you get the grant for MOHE. Let's say for under FRGS, usually it's under FRGS. You can continue that project and apply usually step 1. Because this is the continuity from the FRGS, and then you continue the same project. You apply for the TEC 1, the enhancement and the progress of the project. Then this is the usual track for the project. But it's not necessarily that you have to apply for TEC 1, only then you can apply for the TEC 2. If your project just now, Madam Adibah just asking about the IP, she's entitled to apply for the TEC 2 without have to apply for go through the TEC 1 first. Okay, Dr. Saeed?
Yeah, understand.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Saeed. Any other questions?
There's one request from Dr. Intan. She asked for your email address for future assistance. Is it possible to have your email address?
Again.
Dr. Intan asked for your email address in case
email address.
Future assistance. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give the email address and the contact number. I'm actually a secretariat for TEC 1. Okay. But if you have any other questions for, let's say, AIF, TEC 2, I'll try my best to facilitate and to respond to that one. Otherwise, I'll pass your question to my colleagues.
Thank you, Madam Nuraisha, for the email address. Is there another question from the audience?
Yes,
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yes, Dr. Miftah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It was not me, but I was waiting online actually. This is Prof. Miftah from Kuliah of Engineering. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Just first is like more technical per se. For this individual and organization, I mean, when I registered, it gave me like organization type as individual. So you mean, when is it from the same website, even though it is mentioned individual and there is no IIUM somewhere in my profile? to apply for AAF or TED1, etc.? How to differentiate
To
basically?
differentiate. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me put this in the very I try to make it as simple as I can. Okay.
Okay.
Basically, we formed this AIF. We created this grant. AIF is meant for the individual technologies, individual who has not working for any other organizations or
Okay.
university. Okay. Not the researchers from the university, just the individual. They know how to do this technology or innovation of the product, but don't know where to get the assistance, okay? Financial assistance. So this is AIF is meant for this kind of people, okay? But for you, we are recommending all the researchers to apply for the TED1 because you will be applying is under the university. Okay, the agreement will be signed between the IIUM and also with the MOSTI. But let's say IIUM can have apply, more than 1, 2, 3, or 5, as much as you want for the project. But for the project leader, you can only conduct the project, one project at one time only.
Okay.
Okay, but you can be a project member for any other project. Let's say you're applying for this project, you'll be the project leader. There will another project is your colleague. You can be a project member for that project, but you cannot be a project leader for another project.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, for research wise, let's say you had a few, grants that you get and you close it, complete it with FRGS. And then you go maybe for the next, it's similar to the PRGS basically, but maybe not to that level yet. So is it TED1 or TED2 will be more suitable for an extension of an FRGS? Maybe still has a little bit of fundamental and testing.
Doctor, the simple calculation, if your project already have a prototype, already have the proof of concept, usually proof of concept, we will be assessing more on the project because it's either on TRL3 or TRL4. If they already complete the TRL4, then you go for the TED2.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, doctor?
Yeah,
okay.
Clear. Thank you.
Welcome.
I think Dr. Adrina, sorry.
Just one thing. We didn't mention about the opening. Is it open all year, the grants?
Yes, as at now, as you'll be asking me today, at this moment, still open throughout the year.
Okay.
We open it throughout the year. We don't have a cycle or closing date yet.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to give the chance to Dr. Adrina to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum, Puan Nuresha. Thank you so much for the sharing.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Adrina from RMC.
Yes, Dr. Adelina.
Yes. I noticed that in your presentation you mentioned a lot about TRL1 until TRL9, etc., etc. Yeah. I'm just wondering, is there a more detailed guideline in terms of the definition for the TRLs?
Yes, we have it. We have it, doctor. You want me to share it?
Later on, maybe you can share so that we can share it with our researchers. The reason I'm asking is because it's like this. I am from the grant monitoring unit. All right, and I always accompany researchers when they go for presentation of their TRGS, PRGS, LRGS, etc. All right. And the thing is, one of the favorite questions by the evaluators or the panel is, where are you? Which TRL are you at? And majority of the researchers, they are blank. They don't know where they are, okay? They cannot answer that question successfully. So we feel that we need to be able to sort of inform our researchers that, this is where you are. At least they know where they are.
Okay. Thank you, doctor, for the question. Okay, I already opened this. Is the TRL
This is
definition.
available on the website, Puan?
Yes, I open it live from the SDB. Okay, This is our latest guideline. I open a guideline for the TED 1. Okay. This is the definitions of the TRL that we will be using throughout, like from the RMK 11 to 12, 10, 11 and 12, we'll be using these definitions. Okay. As at now, we still be using this definition. You can get it as an attachment from each guidelines. Okay, later I'll WhatsApp all the guidelines to Raja Sabrina. You may share this also with other researchers. Okay, but basically I just want to share that this is the what we call it, the basic calculations or definitions of the TRL itself. So usually in MOSTI we started from the TRL2, formulation of the concept. So the TRL1 is fundamental, what we call it as a fundamental. See, fundamental, you get all the data in TRL1. But for the TRL2, you start to formalize the concept. Okay, TRL2, 3 and 4, you might enter the TED 1 from the TRL2 or TRL3 and graduate at TRL4. But if you're already in TRL4, you are entitled to apply for TED 2. You may graduate at TRL5 or 6. For bridging fund, commercialization, to the commercialization, bridging fund or the dana per-commercialan is started from TRL7 onwards.
Okay, another question that I have is, because it's like this point, I'm from social science.
Okay.
I'm not from the sciences. I'm not from
pure science,
engineering.
not pure science.
Yes, not pure science.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm social science. So I'm just wondering, like, an opportunity for social scientists to go for this kind of funding by MOSTI. I've always been wondering.
Okay.
Because eventually it's all about product. I understand the trust is that it's about product, it's about innovation, it's about coming up with something that is commercializable. Okay, so what's there for us? What's there for social scientists?
First thing first, let me throw back a little bit. Okay, it's not necessary to be, we call it as output. The output can be a new process, a new product, a new technology. Okay, for those what we call it non-pure science, okay, non-pure science. Okay, if you can see here, the social, Malaysia socio-economic driver, let me make it bigger. Okay, clear? Is it clearer? Okay, from the energy. Okay, you, doctor, you can choose which one is more suitable, closer to you. Which one? From the
mine could be, I can see myself in culture, arts and tourism, or it could be in education.
Okay, we choose culture, art and tourism. Okay, so with this culture, art and tourism, what are the product or what are the project that you are proposing or doing it now?
I'm doing.
Is it apps? Okay. Are you doing apps? Are you doing what?
Yeah, I'm moving towards that. Yes.
Is it usually it's apps, right?
Yes.
Okay, for instance, okay, if you're developing the apps now, which one of science and technology drivers that you are using now? These 10. From the 5G, 6G up to bioscience technology. Are you using advanced intelligence system? Maybe.
AI, yeah.
Yes, that's why if you can answer these two questions, which one you in Malaysia also socio-economic driver and which one you'll be using for the science and technology driver, if you have answer for this one, then you are entitled to apply. Because you fall into one of these dots.
I see.
Okay. Any other project? We also have this, what we call is a niche area, a little bit narrowed down in definitions of this one. You can get all these informations of 1010 STIE from Academy Science Malaysia, ASM. They have a very details about this 1010 and you will be getting more info about this one. But the basic question that you'll be asking to the potential interested applicant will be which are you here? First thing, which are you here? And then we go for the TRL. TRL, when do you still have a prototype? Do you have this proof of concept, or do you just started this, or you just finish your FRGS? If you just finish your FRGS, you basically and usually will be asking you to apply for TED 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions from?
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
welcome.
Hello,
There's
Assalamualaikum.
one question. Sorry. Yeah. Can I just proceed with the question from the chat? Just one question. Okay. This is from Dr. Zahida, KST. She's interested in TED 1 and she's asking, for the past fundamental research, is priority will be given to FRGS recipients because her past fundamental research was not from FRGS but from flagship grant from the university.
Okay, thank you. Is it Dr. Zahida?
Dr. Zahida.
Okay, Dr. Zahida from KICT, right? Okay. Doctor, it's not there's no bonus, extra mark, or privilege if you have the PRGS grant or any other grant before. We just want to get this information to know where are you now for the project. So if you already have this FRGS, we would like to ensure that you already complete that project from FRGS first before you can apply for this one. If you don't have any other grant for your project, then shouldn't be any problem because we don't want to have a double dipping in, giving the grant for any researchers. You have to complete your project first. Upon completion, then you are entitled to apply for another grant. Okay, Dr. Zahida? Is there any other? Okay. Any other question? Waalaikumsalam.
Me, Dr. Zulkifli here from
Yes, Dr. Zul.
Okay, I have a question here regarding the 10-10 MOSTI. At MOSTI level, do you have any some sort of statistic that so that we can increase the chances of getting the grant if a very competitive competition between the applicant, for example, like you have tenaga, pendidikan, air, pertanian, all until the sistem pintar and all so on and so forth. Do you have any recommendation of which one of these is what considered the
Which one, Doctor?
Which one yang
It's very challenging question, Doctor, from you if you said which one, because if you're asking me now, I promoted all these 10, I must say all these 10 have a same and equal chance to get it. But from our statistic, the highest application goes to medical and healthcare. This is the application, not approved.
I know.
Not the success rate.
More. If I submit my proposal, we also need to ensure that
for the record, we still don't have the application under culture, arts and tourism as at now.
Okay.
And also under fintech, business, financial services, energy shouldn't be any problem. Medical and healthcare is the highest based on our statistic. Also goes to smart technologies. So smart cities also one of it. Water and food. But if I can share with you, Doctor, this is for SRF. This is for SRF. Starting from this year, we focus more on medical and healthcare. We focus more on technology, and this is for the smart system, water and food, and also for the environment. Okay, this is our focus, but it doesn't mean that any other 6 other challenges are not entitled. It's just the focus more on for SRF APP, but others have the same chance. Okay.
And then my second question, DP dana commercialize
Dana perkomersialan again?
Is open right now? Is on hold?
Yes, it's still open, but we just offered this dana perkomersialan August last year. It started from EPU. Basically, it's EPU. It's mirror to our bridging fund, basically. But because in government, we cannot have a double dipping. Therefore, we just stop bridging fund for a while and continue with dana perkomersialan managed by Meranti. However, within these 6 months, the past 6 months, we haven't get, the applications are not overwhelmed as what we expected. Okay, I'm not sure whether because of this is a R&D grant or something. We just got this information, but this dana perkomersialan still continue. But the secretariat for this will fall under EPU.
Okay, so far how many?
But we still have this bridging fund. Bridging fund is a mirror to dana perkomersialan. If you are interested to apply for commercialization, toward the commercialization funding, you can apply bridging fund.
Because when I go through the DP form, it looks like, for example, I already have my TRL8. My product is almost certified by SIRIM, and then I'm looking forward to have my own production line. So it looks like the form on the DP, the MOSTI would like to to fund some sort of the facilities so that we can mass produce our product, isn't it?
Yes, doctor. Because if you can see this, doctor, from this is our scope of funding. DP is dana perkomersialan. If you can see the scope of funding for dana perkomersialan and the other funding is obviously different. It's not necessary that you have to apply for all this item. You may choose which one is related to you, and you can apply for this one.
So far, those who are the recipient of DP, mostly from industry as a applicant or university. Do you have any statistics?
As at now, for dana perkomersialan is from company.
From company.
It's from company.
All right, okay. All right.
Doctor, you may be the first one from the university, doctor, to be approved for this.
I just received my lab grant from MOSTI. It looks like we can speed up our TRL8 as soon as possible so that we can continue.
Yes.
Our own factory lah.
Okay, doctor. Thank you, doctor. I wish you all the best, doctor, for your project.
Okay. Welcome.
Salam.
So is there any other question from the audience? There's another question in the chat from Dr. Siti Fauzia. Dear Madam Aisha, could you help explain what type of lab validation documents are expected by MOSTI? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fauzia. Okay. So usually, doctor, you are asking about the supporting document, doctor. Okay. For the supporting document, basically, upon applications, we are not asking any what we call it data scientific data or document yet from you, but during the presentation, and usually you put in writing in your application form. Okay, later panel will ask you during the JPD, panel will ask you to furnish, provide and submit all the document based on your presentation. Okay, let's say if you already pass your lab validation, maybe you just can submit the results of your validation. There will be asking during the JPD, okay, during the evaluation session. We as a secretariat, as you just submit your application, you will not asking to submit that kind of document yet. We will be asking you to, for instance, only the ethical approval if it's related. Let's say the ethical approval, if you have any collaboration, then you have to submit the letter of acceptance. If you have a consultant, letter of consultant, the quotations of your product, only that kind of supporting document, not yet toward the scientific data. Okay, doctor?
Is there any other question from the audience?
Otherwise, we will finish this session earlier than the schedule. No other questions?
If there's no other question from the audience, then I think it is time to wrap up this program. Yeah, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the invited speaker, Madam Nuraisha, and of course to all of you for making your time to attend this talk. It is hoped that the information shared today can assist us in securing the grant for our research. And before we end, I would like to remind all participants to sign in for your attendance and to fill out the evaluation form. And with that, we shall end our talk today with Tasbih Kifara and Surah Al-Ans.